Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, dear Dhamma friends, the meditation technique we're going to practice has two steps. One is called tranquility meditation, Chitta Bhavana or Samadhi meditation. Another one is called Vipassana meditation. So these two meditation technique has little bit different natures. So in tranquility meditation, remember in the beginning you have to put the effort yourself. And if your mind go here and there, with the effort you have to bring your mind to your mental object. So as here primary mental object, we focus ourselves to inhalation, exhalation. So in front of your nose and your upper lip area. So if the mind go here and there, again and again, you bring your mind to inhalation, exhalation. And sometimes if you put too much effort, and then you get tired. And if you don't put the effort, then you get lazy and you maybe fall into sleep. So that's why when you put the effort, you have to remember to keep it in the middle, and always you have to be mindful how to put the effort, how much you have to put the effort. So that itself develop your tranquility state. So that itself help to get into the present moment and stay in the moment. And sometimes the very nature of our mind, always mind go here and there. So you no need to take it as a disturb. So just you have to accept it. The accepting it doesn't mean you allow it to happen as it is. You accept it, but at the same time, you can slowly bring the same mind to different position. So that's mean following the inhalation, exhalation. So when it comes to inhalation, exhalation, remember, don't interfere with the inhalation, exhalation. Just allow it to happen naturally. So when the inhalation, exhalation happen in the beginning, recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation separately. And then if you become settled down with the inhalation, exhalation, so that is not good. So then again and again, you have to have the effort to develop the awareness, not to settle down. So how you can do that? In the beginning, now you separately recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation, and bring a little bit more effort to see deeply the beginning, the middle, and end of the inhalation, exhalation. So entire process, entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. Another thing is, when the mind settles down with that, then again you bring a little bit more effort, and some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. So you recognize, and in the very beginning you have to remember to accept it, not to go against or not to resist, just to accept whatever the inhalation, exhalation. Learn to accept it. So when you follow this way, and sometimes when everything settle down, now your mind slowly stay with the inhalation, exhalation, and suddenly your thoughts can disturb, where whatever the very reason, memory can pop up. So don't go with it. You sit for meditation not to to think about whatever happened in the past or whatever going to happen in the future. You practice in this very moment, and you focusing to inhalation, exhalation. So be disciplined yourself, and you're doing it for you, and you're not doing it for something else. And sometimes very old memory can disturb you suddenly without any reason that can come. So don't put value on that thoughts. Oh, why when I practice meditation, I remembered this 10 years back it happened, and 20 years back this happened, and suddenly it came to my mind why it happened like that. You no need to go with it. Just stay with the inhalation, exhalation. So as example, just for example, to have the clarity. Okay, so as you know, this few months that we didn't travel anywhere, and so there was a mother passed away in another country, in Australia, and that person, that son, couldn't go to Australia because of this situation. And now he practiced meditation. And he came to me and told when he practiced meditation little by little, and suddenly that everything that related with his mother for a long, long time ago, even from many, many years, 20 years, that all the memories sometimes come. And he asking maybe mother need merits. Oh, why that mother always, when I practice meditation, why it comes to me? It's nothing to do with the mother. The mother not going to come to his mind and disturb and while he practice meditation. No. See, that is what I'm telling. Because in deeper in his mind, he couldn't go to her funeral and these things happen. And now when everything settled down, that can pop up. It happened to us in many different ways. It can happen with the sad memories, and it can happen with the joy also. So that's why don't put value on it. Don't try to go and have an argument to yourself why this happened like that. Right away, stay with the inhalation, exhalation. So you have to be very clear with it. And whatever the thoughts, just let it go. It's a thought. Stay with the inhalation, exhalation. Another thing is, sometimes without any reason, different reaction can happen in the body. So your body, your breathing, everything settle down, and sometimes that this chemical reactions can come, and you feel sometimes dizzy, and you feel physical, maybe comfort or maybe discomfort. Not for all the time. Suddenly it can happen and disappear, and it kind of like a whole body shakes suddenly and it disappears. It always happening. This whole body always moving, and you don't feel it. Why you don't feel? Because your mind is not sharp. So then you practice meditation and everything settle down, you get into kind of tranquility state, calm down, then suddenly you feel shake, and you think it's kind of like that something, the high mental power going to, or maybe some other power, so the aliens going to come and connect to you, something like. Then you start to think this all the, the things, crazy things. So don't go with it. That's why you have to have the the strong self-discipline. So see, even when you're not reacting to this kind of things, see how disciplined you become with your own practice. Because those are things that most of people experience. And some people feel like blank and don't feel anything, they don't see anything, they kind of like going to a black hole. So this meditation is not like that. It doesn't take you to kind of like a numbness, brain numbness or body numbness. No, this make you more aware, mindful regarding what you focus. So that is the tranquility state of development. Remember that. So Then you see it again and again. It's like when you look at the mirror, you see the face, same like you start to recognize the behavior of your mind. That is the important thing. And once you settle down with these things without reacting to your mind, and from there, we go to Vipassana level of meditation. So in the Vipassana level, remember, in the beginning, we had the effort. We put certain effort to calm our mind, relax our mind, and follow the details, inhalation, exhalation, beginning, middle, end, and short and long, warm or cold. So like that, we used to observe and recognize in details. But in Vipassana level, you don't go to that all the details one by one, this surface level. You go with only the sensation, stay with it, and through the sensation recognize inhalation or exhalation. That is it. And mostly you go now inward and see what the experience you have. So when the inhalation happens, the itself, the form, that's the inhalation, the form itself bring the certain different feelings to you. It's moment by moment change process. And according to that recognition change. And then the exhalation happens. So that inhalation didn't disappear. It becomes something else. This is a chain. It's nothing going to disappear. It becomes something else. So in between your whole this process, head to toes, within a inhalation, exhalation, each and every atom. So what is happening? It going to transform to something. That's how we get aging. Day by day, we become different from this much child. Now you become kind of like a 5 feet, 6 feet, you know. So it's you change, you become something. So it's physically, they all the trees, when you put a seed and every day it becomes something. There is no ending process. It's always in the journey. So that's the physical process. But here in the Vipassana level, we're going to experience it in a mental process. So the mental process little bit sharp and deep. So, but that is the real understanding about the impermanent, not this outside world. So how then what is happening inside you, and what the change you experience, and what is the transformation happening moment by moment, how something becomes something else. Inhalation happen and the conscious feel that your all feelings, thoughts and consciousness go with it. And when the exhalation happen, that previous consciousness change to something else. And again, that when again inhalation happen, the exhalation or whatever the consciousness is change. So like that, following the feelings, it's everything change moment by moment. You start to observe that change moment by moment, moment by moment. So remember, when you experience that change, so in the beginning, in the tranquility meditation, this is inhalation, this is exhalation. So we had a comparison. This is long, this is short. But here in the Vipassana, we don't do that. Even when a single moment of past experience, we don't bring to the moment of the present experience. It is little bit, it need little practice, but still, I hope just hearing this, by practicing yourself, and you can experience it. Once you know that, you can experience. Knowingly important, and at the same time practicing important. So you have to balance this both. And so the moment by moment, always keep the newness, freshness, and don't try to add your past experience. Whatever happened, let it go. Whatever happened, let it go. Just be in the moment, experience in the change. And that will help you to understand and arising, existing, and disappearance. That disappearance means not going to disappear, it becomes something else. And then you go with it. You go with it moment by moment, moment by moment. And again, that clarity you invest to observe it more deeply, more deeply. And that is where you recognizing the moment you experience is only for that moment. It never going to happen anymore. And that is what you understanding impermanent, because the moment itself has not power to stay solid. It in a process. And other thing is, it is selfless. This is nothing to do with me or my or like that. This is a process happening. Only thing we experience it. That's it. And you understand the selflessness. And still deeper sometimes, as like ordinary people, we have a moment idea, kind of like when we feel relaxed, comfort, and when we settle down, we feel kind of like a stay there. But now you see it's moment by moment, moment by moment, changing. So that understanding will give to recognize unsatisfactory nature, because deeper in ourselves we have desire to settle down, but the very nature is moving. So this is the process that in the vipassana level you observe. And again, remember, your limit should be within the feeling, that's mean the form, or that the with the inhalation, exhalation, and inward, not to go to outside world. So you always go towards the inside and see how the feeling arise, sensation, formation. Formations mean thoughts, and the consciousness, recognition. Those are the five things you observe: inhalation or exhalation, or the inhalation, exhalation, the form, and according to that, feeling arise and stay with the feeling, and if it is possible, and recognize the sensation, and if it is possible, recognize the formation, and recognize the awareness or the understanding, recognition as inhalation, exhalation. So this is a process happening. But rather than going outward, if you focus to inside within these five aggregates, that is the vipassana practice. And again, when you see the change moment by moment within yourself, and that will help to relax your mind, calm down your mind, because you come out of the becoming desire. You come out of this, the pushing forward and jumping and trying to move forward to settle down. That bring the calmness, relax, comfort to yourself. And also that comfort bring the joy and satisfaction. So that satisfaction is completely different than we go with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind towards outside. So this is inside, that satisfaction. And from there, once that the desire stop, this becoming desire stop, naturally the resistance or the currents go against, or the anger, hatred, jealousy, these things disappear. Another thing is, as a result of that, all this laziness, lethargic mind, or the heavy body, this all the feelings disappear. And that is why spiritual vitality arises. You awake, your each and every cell start to activate to the highest level, head to toes. You completely become that kind of like a rainbow. In certain meditation practice, like if you familiar with the Tibetan meditation practice, there are masters. They get this rainbow body. This is what this is how they get into that kind of, because once the desire go out, drop the desires. Once the anger disappear, the itself loving kindness and compassion arise, and with that this internal vitality arise, energy arise. So that is what that the called rainbow body. So from there, and you're not going to past or the future. Now you experience this present moment and you stay with it. Now you strong enough to maintain that awareness, and from there no any kind of doubt regarding the path, because your own practice show how this work. So this is the process. We go step by step, little by little. Just yourself be relaxed, and at the same time don't have desire, any desire to gain anything or to achieve something like that when it come to vipassana level of meditation. But in tranquility meditation, remember, always guide your mind and discipline yourself, because you need that for a while. If when you know need that, you know that right away you can get into tranquility state, you know that. So but in the beginning, just try little by little. If you are a beginner, or if you practice a little bit, and if you know that suddenly you cannot get into this tranquility state, keep practice slowly, little by little. Be patient yourself, and don't be hurry, and learn to wait, and calm down and keep the cool inside you. And with that, and little bit practice. Okay, so your right palm on your left, and neck it straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture, and scan head to toes 3 times yourself, and say Supateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories, and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation. So in the beginning, we relax our body, bring your attention to lower part of your body, and observe the bodily sensation. Just get a mental note. See whatever the feelings there. Any tightness, heaviness, heat, pain, contact with the sheet, cushion or the chair, pressure. Your lower back, Upper back and shoulders. Arms, elbow, forearms, palms, fingers, fingertips. Abdominal muscles and chest. Neck and head muscle. Head. Focus your mind to your whole body and feel your whole body as one. Bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And observe the sensation. Recognize inhalation, exhalation separately. So don't interfere with the inhalation, exhalation, just allow it to happen itself. Follow the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. Bring more attention to inhalation, exhalation. with very clear mind. Stay with the change and observe deeply. Don't get into any other details. Bring your attention to your body. Observe your posture, head to toes. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, your village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. And as far as we can through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding ourselves like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Visualize yourself as a light and send it as far as you can. Forward, see how far you can go. With the intention, may all living beings be well and happy. To your backside, to your left side, to your right side. Downward, and upward. to all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion. From the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, you may heard the word Sansara Chakra. And mostly when we look at the Sansara Chakra, in different Buddhist traditions, they have the wheel of life with the pictures. And in the Sansara Chakra, you become different, you gain different forms, like different kind of beings. So it's kind of like when we look at the Sansara Chakra, you have an idea, it's about this outside world journey with the other existence. So that's the bigger picture. That is the outcome. But there is another Sansara Chakra. So if you able to understand this, and you can stop even that other bigger picture. What is that other Sansara Chakra? That Sansara Chakra means your five aggregates. In that five aggregates, mainly your consciousness and your feeling. So the consciousness depends on the feeling, feeling depends on consciousness. It's like a circle. That is what you experience every day. So maybe what you like, what you hate. So these things you go with the entire your life, and we say that these things go with our samsaric journey. So what, because your consciousness always depending from the feelings, and the feelings always depending from the consciousness. In this inner, it is a kind of like a go like a wheel. In between this, when the, and it helped to influence to gain the all the names and forms. When the names and forms come to you with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So the form is that whatever come as a picture, it's a form for your eye, and when it come, it has a name. And for the ear, the form is the sound. For the nose, the form is the aroma, smell. Tongue, for the form is the taste. The body form is the feeling, especially when it comes to feeling, mainly the physical touch, the human touch. And other thing is with the mind, thoughts, that all forms create feelings, and that feelings has an interconnection with the consciousness, because to arise the feelings that it need a deeper help from the consciousness, and then sensation arise, and then the feeling sensation formations arise, then again it goes back to the consciousness. It is a circle. So in this very moment, it more than the millisecond, you experience the samsaric, the life circle. The life circle mean the consciousness and the feelings interconnection. So, and when you keep doing it, what is happening? The consciousness has power to create the forms and the names. Look at the world and all the most of things that came out of the human mind. Another thing is, whatever people find, right away we put a name for that. And once we put the name, what is happening? When we use that in day-to-day life, we forget the original purpose of putting the name, and we get stuck with the name. And then it go as a form to your mind, and it stay there. So it again, that whatever that we maybe just the for a purpose, we just put a name. But once the thing is, once you hold it to the name, it has power to create a form. As example, it like this. Just get a simple example. So when I say table, now in your mind there is a table. But let's go to the beginning of the table. How that? Who put this name? Just find who put this name to the table. You don't know. You have no idea. Maybe by mistake somebody put the name table. But look at today, entire world follow it and hold it to it. And all over the world, if you say the table, everybody in their mind pop up the nature of the table. Just not only the word, with its behavior. But in the beginning, whoever put the name for the table, maybe didn't have that much bigger idea. How many things came to us by mistakes? So as example, the tea, how it invented by mistake, and wine. So there are a lot of things even in the machines and technology. And the one of the very famous thing that Hitler used a communication machine, Enigma, and all over the world people, that other intelligence service try to find uncode this machine, but they couldn't happen. That's why the Hitler mostly became so strong, because they used to transfer the signal and no one can catch it, no one can recognize it. And then there were different experiment went through to find it. But in another country, with the help of the France, the mechanic, he was just try to fix another machine. And then when he joined the wires, and suddenly this Enigma, this machine, that signals indicate, and it decode, that it unveil the secret message. So then they recognize it, but it happened without intention. There are like that lot of things in the world. Things happen without any reason. But once we put a name to it, what is happening? It is very difficult to take it out from us. So when the name and form bring the feelings to us, and once you get used to it, get used to it, get used to it. And this is what that we know we have a long sansaric journey in the past. So listen this very carefully, and you may get understanding a little bit. So that of course there is existing at the same time what you know names and forms in this very moment in your head. Look at how much history that carry that all the information. So that all the history that in you. So it kind of like when you have the history in you with the names and form, whatever, like thousand years ago, maybe somebody invented something by mistake. And then today you have it with the idea and you know the name for that. And now when you hear that, and all these thousand years, that whatever the people use, that you have in your mind, you have that memory. So there is a movie, when you have time, you can watch it. The movie it called God Must Be Crazy. And it's in Africa, in the beginning, without this anything, one guy found out Coca-Cola bottle. And in the beginning, he thought it is a demon. So he start to throw it, and there is something. When you have time, just watch. That's the same thing. It's like with these names and forms, whatever come to our life, we start to play with it. And even we don't know what it is. So that, but by the culture, tradition and things, we start to keep following. But in the beginning of the culture, they had a different meaning. The very meaning of the culture, preserve the truth, preserve the right to reason for the next generation. But what is happening by the time, as a culture, we build unknown things to our life. And maybe for your children, just look yourself, for your next generation, how many things you teach them, telling this is our culture, this is our tradition, and without knowingly what is the beginning of it. How you know that if you tell something to your children, so son or daughter, do this because it is our culture, and you teaching them, and but you don't know the origin, then what will happen to them? They have the fear, and they become ignorance. That ignorance is so stronger than you think. That is what happening, because when we disconnect from the truth, little by little, even though we doing the right thing without knowingly it is right, what the point? Because we don't know it is right. Anytime things can go wrong. So that's why this name and form built by the consciousness, human mind, and all this world day by day built by human mind. From where it come? It come out of the backup power is the feeling. When there is no feeling, people don't want to create anything. So the backup power is the feelings to create something, and again, whatever we create, it go back to our consciousness. That's why when we take the cell phone, computer, this camera or bulb, so like that, in the beginning, look what happened, how, and then how it little by little, at something became advanced, because the consciousness get the feeling, and then the feeling. So that is a kind of like a samsara chakra. And as a result of that, the bigger picture arises. So then yourself, you have to be very careful. And when you have time, and observe deeply yourself and see that can you recognize the feelings. And if it is minimized, that whole process, this whole process, if you put it to one and get as a tablet, like one word, this everything thoughts, there's nothing else. Sansara means thoughts. If you can get out of the thoughts, just try whatever you think, that's why you become. So then the sansara means what you think you become. So then stop thinking. Stop thinking means stop unnecessary thinking. Always remember that whatever you keep doing, just be minimized, be disciplined to that moment, and be disciplined with your mind to think according to what you do. So then you in the present moment, then you are not going to think about past or the future. So you think, but you don't think unnecessarily, and your mind not going here and there like a roller coaster. You stay always in the moment. So then your sansara in this very moment, and it doesn't have anything to create for the future. So when you become very clear with the moment, it is very rare you become greedy, hatred, or the anger. Why? Because to be greedy, you have to, there is no way in the present moment, there is no way. If you practice yourself, you know, if you are in the present moment, there is no way you can going to be jealousy, greedy. Always to have the greediness, you have to jump to past or the future. It need another thought. And the anger also same. If you are in the present moment, there is no way that you're going to get angry. There's no way. Always to get angry, it need a backup from somewhere, past or maybe from the future. And ignorance the same. Why we become ignorant? If you are in the present moment, with that very moment, that is the best way to develop the wisdom. So then there is no ignorance, because you are in you're conscious at the right place. So then the sansara chakra itself become neutral. Why? Because you are become very disciplined to the moment. Then there is no becoming happening. And if you are able to develop that and become very clear with the moment, little by little, little by little, with your thoughts, and we are more passionate and we more put that the effort thinking about outside world. But that is not we cannot do anything to this entire, there is no end. But how about your thoughts? Be focused to that. In this very lifetime, you can get into something. So there are four things that what the Buddha mentioned as satisfaction, sukha, comfort. That atti sukha, bhoga sukha, anana sukha, anavajja sukha. In conventionally, in the material life, we can explain it in that way. But in spiritual life, if I give another analogy to you, atti sukha, that's mean you have to be comfortable, that you have to be happy as a human being, you born in this world, in this time. So look at how many that living beings in this universe, and they don't have kind of a consciousness to understand and experience like this difference. Of course, other animals have certain kind of mind, but they don't understand this process to observe and recognize, especially the connection between the, the consciousness and the feelings. They don't have awareness to understand the five aggregates. They don't have awareness to understand this is right, why this is right, this is wrong, why this is wrong. Maybe they know this is right or wrong, but they don't understand why it is wrong. Only human have this kind of understanding. So then you have that, and you have this human body, and also you have the Dhamma. So Atti Sukha, be happy about it. What else you want to look for? You are already here. And we look for the Mars and we look for other planets and that thing. But ourselves we forget. Even we go to there, what will happen? So look that what kind of people and doing this all the project, and look even in this very lifetime during our life, that what we can achieve, what you can achieve before you die. It is okay, you can do a lot of things, but how about what you understand, what you achieve? With that success, it is okay to go to any place, but without that, what the point you going anywhere? So then the artist will always be satisfied and look yourself, and you are here, be happy as a human being and during this time period. And Atti Sukha, Bhoga Sukha, and you have a lot of things in this life to develop your spirituality. You have your awareness, your mind, and you have this all the teachings around you. Use it. And there are a lot of people, they don't have this understanding, even they don't have these facilities, but yourself you have it. Use it. Without using, just having it there, what's the point? And the Buddha's teaching, Tripitaka, that all other the good teachings around the world, and right away in front of your finger, the that your computer, your phone, fingertips. Just you put the button, it's going to come to you. 10 years, 20 years back, it was not like that. To find a book, you have to go to library, and maybe only one book there, maybe that also somebody hide. The spiritual book, only one book, and somebody take it and go and hide it in agricultural section. Who going to read the spirituality in agricultural section? You will never find that book. But today it's not like that. So this the Tripitaka or the Sutra, so you go and just, it's on your fingertips. But are you getting the benefit, or are you just doing something else? And Anana Sukha, don't be a debtor. Don't be a debtor to fear. Don't be a debtor to ignorance. Don't be a debtor to this, that all the machines and technology. So keep that inner freedom, and that inner freedom get out of the wisdom that you carry. And Anavajya Sukha. And if you are able to develop your spirituality, no one going to get hurt, or no one going to blame on you, and no one going to get disturbed out of you, and everybody will appreciate that. So those are things that you can gain during this time period, and use yourself. So then you will see, and itself, your sansara chakra is the wheel of samsara. Remember, it is not this traveling through other planets or the becoming other animals or not like that. Your consciousness go to feelings come to consciousness. That is create this all the journey. And if you are able to understand this in right away, you have power to if you want to keep going, you have power to turn that wheel to whatever the direction you want. At least try to get that power, otherwise just it will go like wherever it wants. No, bring that clarity to yourself, and you can do that. This Buddha's teaching is available for you. This is the only teaching. There is no any other teaching talking about these 5 aggregates and the connection and things. Maybe somebody can talk about it. Maybe they get it from the Buddhism. There is no original source, anybody, because Sometimes when I go to teach in these schools, and sometimes the teachers tells us, and they just practice meditation, closing their eyes, just imagine whatever the life they want. And they never heard about this kind of way to how to stop or how to come out of this tangle. And they go to tangle, tangle, tangle. It is not about talking others, but if it is only the Buddhism talk about, we have to tell it. It is not about the religious base. It is for all living beings in this world. And it is for entire humanity. Anybody can practice. So do whatever the religious activities you do, but still try to practice little bit, get into Vipassana. You will see even whatever the religious that you keep practice going to become more clear and more beneficial for you and for everybody. So because it giving you inner clarity and inner freedom and inner wisdom. That's why. So you have this all opportunities. So whenever you have time, try to do. And if anybody is suffering in life with many other difficulties, and try to share your wisdom with them and tell them to practice this and observe the breathing and stay and observe their own feelings and follow it and see what happens. So with that, there was a temple. In that temple, there was two young monks, and the high priest got already old and ready to pass away. Now high priest wanna select one student to become high priest. So then this both studies well, and they knew the both very wise and practice meditation. And but how the high priest going to select this? Then one day he called these both students and gave two books and told, this is the only secret that carry in the temple in the all this history, and go and read and try to find the secret, and whoever find the secret and going to carry this uh, temple forward, and he going to become the high priest. And they both went and start to look at the book, only just blank papers, nothing else, nothing else. So then one student, and he looked from beginning to end, there's nothing, bring back the book and gave it to high priest and told, there's nothing. Another monk, and still he looking that book and try to find, is there something else. So remember, when you see that whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, and when you have the clarity and you going to see if there is anything that exists or nothing, the mostly even it is empty, but our mind not allow us to accept it is empty. It is painful, but our mind not allow us to accept it is as pain. It is change, but our mind not allow us to accept it is change. And we keep going. We keep going like that monk, and he is still reading that book and try to find is there anything else. And even though he see it is empty, he believing there is something should be. That's the same thing happening to us. And we always see this empty blank papers, but still we think there's something, and we keep reading, 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 reading. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ettavata ca ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.